razoring for that one.
Molly, you're
We are live, guys. So, do you know, I just thought I'd subtly hit the go live button. We're having such a really good conversation over Mark's preparation for the Recruitment Agency Expo. There we go. So, yes, it's Thursday. It's the Green Umbrella Live Lunch. We are live. We're here on LinkedIn, my LinkedIn. We're here on Facebook. We are over on YouTube as well. And obviously, it just takes a minute or two for the notification to get out there for people to see that and jump on and come and join us. So, what's really interesting is the fact that because it's a live stream, anyone watching back the video, they may have just caught the end of the conversation we were having because at the point where I hit go live. But only people will know that bit exists if they were quick enough when they got the notification to jump on. So yeah, there you go. Interesting. So another week at Green Umbrella Towers, lots of exciting stuff happening here. Do you know what? It's just like, I feel like all of my weeks are merging into one at the minute. It's been quite bizarre, loads and loads going on. I feel quite out of touch with all the news. Like what's happening? What we've been up to?
Well, Twitter is no more. That's finished. It hasn't.
Cancelled.
Yeah.
I meant in the business. I meant like what have you guys been up to? Because I've just
we've
been
supposed
like
to have come to work.
I've just been like doing I've been meetings and organising like when I'm speaking for people and stuff like and out speaking and what's happening? What are you working on?
So we have launched the Marketing Mastery Catalyst course just a couple of weeks ago. So that's really exciting. Got a good group of people on that. So I think we're on week 3 is going to be launched on Monday. So don't forget to do those videos for me, will you, Babs? But few teething problems as with anything. But no, good group of people and they seem to be really enjoying it. So very busy with that. Yeah,
it's good actually, and we've got a good group that are like just like I was at school doing homework the night before. I feel like they're my people.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah, and I mean Catalyst is really cool. So 8 weeks, 8 modules, 8 live Q&As. I'm starting to think maybe we should max it as like 8 people per cohort as well. Let's go with all the 8s. No, so I said 8 and not 80.
Yeah, please not 80.
Yeah, I mean it's a really good course for just getting to understand online marketing basically, and then get the. It's not even about the basics; it's about getting the foundations in place and making sure you're building on those. So yeah, it's good to have that up and running. But I do get that's taken up most of your week at the minute, isn't it?
Weekend, did you say?
All right, okay. This is okay.
But we've also what we've learned this week is Molly knows all of the words to Eminem Lose Yourself. So that was good. We've had a lovely time in the office with Molly this week, especially when she's had a night old the night before.
Yeah. I've been quite tired this week, so I've been a bit loopy.
Do it, Molly.
I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
Bars.
Do it now.
Probably copyright anyway.
Yeah. We were saving it for episode 200, weren't we?
Yeah.
Sorry, no, I don't think any of you picked that up, but I do believe Christina just said, "Do it now, and you can have a pay rise."
I know it's too good. I'll get copyright problems.
True. Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, the real Molly Bowler, please stand up.
Yeah.
Oh, funny. So what else have you been up to this week, Molly? Anything in particular you've been working on?
I've been launching some nurture sequences for clients who have events coming up left, right and centre. So getting those organised and ready. We're currently moving from HubSpot to Active Campaign. So that's quite a big job, but it's a good job. Getting ready for Rec Expo, getting everything in order, ready for that. What else has been going on? I've had a few new clients joining recently. So yeah, just settling into those. Yeah, the usual stuff.
Excellent. I think always like when you're trying to move between systems, so it's a client that's moving from HubSpot to Active Campaign, And it's like trying to get it right, trying to get the timing right, and like make sure everything goes over, but it's kind of being updated, because it's good. It's a good opportunity to tweak, update, like really understand what's happening. But it takes some labour, doesn't it?
It does. And it's not necessarily the most fun of jobs because it's spreadsheets, but
you do like a spreadsheet though, don't you, Molly? What have you done for Rec Expo, please? Share with the group.
so I've got a spreadsheet for all my clients for what's posting in the morning, afternoon, company page, personal page, for all the days I'm there. And it's colour coordinated. It's got multiple boxes for prepped, scheduled and completed. So I do like a spreadsheet for those kind of things, but not data spreadsheets. Just a little bit of OCD in me.
Have you got the label maker yet?
Oh,
Not
yes.
yet. Not yet.
She's investing in a label maker to label her highlighters.
For which day they're used on?
What?
Yeah.
I am. Yeah.
Yeah. This is what you've put me next to now. I used to be on my own. When you weren't in the office, I'd sit in the corner doing my own thing. And now I've got this weird M&M wrapping, like, highlighter labeling person in front of me. And I love it.
I don't know what to say to that other than, Mark, how about you? What have you been doing?
I've been mainly helping Molly walk up and down stairs because she's not very good at that either.
Oh, no.
This is so getting clipped for content.
Oh, I'm really embarrassed now.
Yeah. Why can't you walk up?
Makes
You
a
keep
change.
referring to this. There's like, so, like I said, basically, I've only seen you guys one day this week, right? Because of like when we work at home, when we're in the office, and you referred to this thing several times. I didn't ask the question, but why can't Molly walk upstairs?
So
It's not that she can't. She just has to concentrate.
It's a bit of a big deal, you know. It's a bit of a moment. But the other day, she did not only walk up the stairs, but she was carrying a box. I mean, so come on, Molly, tell us why you can't walk up and down the stairs, or you can, but.
So I've always lived in a bungalow all my life. So stairs is quite new to me. And in the office, as I've also learnt this week, we're on the first floor. So I've got a flight of stairs to climb to get to the office. And I was with Mark the other day, and he picked up on the fact that I went quite quiet when we were going down the stairs. And it's just because I have to focus on what I'm doing.
Like, there are other stairs everywhere, right?
I know.
It's like she's walked into the Icon building and she's gone, whoa. Forget the metaverse. She's learning stairs.
I do have a little thing myself going downstairs where it's almost like a vertigo thing. I do, because I don't have a lot of balance. I mean, we all know I'm pretty unbalanced, but I am like literally not very balanced.
No, I get that, the vertigo thing, but with Molly, she literally gets to the bottom of the stairs and it's like, what?
Computer says no.
Yeah. There's just a...
Stop.
Yeah, what do I do here?
To say I've been...
See, thank you, Paul. She's never been allowed out, bless her.
We know why.
Only to go to India with the brownies. That's another story.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We need a Molly cam.
We do.
We did this week.
We do.
We need one of those 360, you know, where it's like comes off your head. Do you know which ones I mean?
Like the GoPro.
Yeah. There's that man on TikTok who's a train spotter.
Oh, him? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a really weird angle.
We can get you one for next week.
Let's
Let's
do a day in the life of Molly.
Oh,
Maybe we should. Obviously, because we've got the mic ready and stuff, I think we should have Molly Cam next week.
Yeah.
We should just have a little section every day.
On the move with Molly.
Yeah.
So
Molly's on the
next
move.
week, right, because no one knows what we're talking about now. Next week is the Recruitment Agency Expo. This is Tuesday and Wednesday at Excel in London. And we're going to be over there. We've got a stand. I'm speaking on day 2. If you're in the world of if you're an independent recruiter in the world of recruitment, you need to be at this event. There's just there's going to be loads going on. But Molly will be coming to the event for the first time.
Yes, very excited.
So she's been planning. We've already heard about a spreadsheet, but she's also been memorising the floor plan.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
A16.
Green umbrella.
Detail.
Don't ask me anymore.
Oh, actually, guys,
No.
I've got something that you can take to Excel that I bought for when I went to London with my little boy, just in case he got lost. And it's one of those wrist tag things. I'm happy for you to, and you, Mark.
No, we're doing a sign. We're going to do a sign for you, Molly, aren't we? Oh no, we don't need to do a sign because you memorised it.
But also, we've put it on the back of your badge. So if lost, please return to A16.
Love it.
Yeah.
So
I'm not actually that dopey though, in all seriousness.
I can just imagine a tannoy. Bing bong, with Molly Mola. Please return to A16.
in all seriousness, whilst we're there, Molly, you're going to have you've got a mic with you, haven't you? What
I
are you planning
have.
to do?
We're going to go around and ask people some questions about their challenges with social media, what's holding them back. And just talk to people. Talk to people one-to-one, get some quick answers. So yeah, if you're there, look out for the green tops.
It makes you sound like a band.
And that's when Eminem comes out as well.
Yeah.
Covers.
I feel like it's probably a slightly different vibe.
Yeah.
Funny. Okay, cool. All right. So Mark, come on. Other than like monitoring Molly on the stairs, what else?
A bit of Rec Expo prep. So obviously the stuff that you need to bring with you on Monday is nicely laid out in the office. So maybe we should have done an inventory of how many things are there to make sure they all come with us. But that's all packed and ready to go.
I'm going to take a photo of it when I start putting it in the car, and then I'm going to take a photo of it when I finish putting it in the car. Send you both, and then I know you won't bitch and moan at me.
That's it, yeah. So it's all there. It's all there ready. So yeah, we're all prepped for that. Other than that, been working on a new website for a recruitment client, which is a bit of a secondary website for them, and normal bits and bobs for us, really. So yeah, been pretty busy.
It feels like a lot of the conversations we're having at the minute. I mean, Molly's mentioned emails already, but there's a lot of conversation around email marketing, nurture sequences. People are looking at buying data and how to handle that at the minute, aren't they? I know you've had a couple of conversations with the clients that you do more with over the last week.
Yeah, no, absolutely. People trying to get into sort of specific. I can't even say it. Specific. They've got specific niches, so it's trying to find those people. Obviously, we did a bit of an experiment this morning on certain things and deciding the way to get them to their market. So, yeah, that seems to be a good way at the moment to be able to reach out to people.
Yeah. I've always been pretty anti-buying data, but I think when you are super, super niche, that's when it can work. It's when people buy data when it's like the audience is still quite general. That's when I think it can be not the best option. But yeah, we've had some real niche stuff, which is cool.
Yeah.
Jane, you've been quiet this week. You've like hardly asked me for anything. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign.
No, she has. You just haven't read it.
Wow.
You know I love you.
Yeah. So mainly things I've been doing this week are sorting out, like Molly, moving from one system to another. So looking at our scheduler. So that's what I've been doing for the last sort of week and a bit. It's just sort of looking at new schedulers, testing them out. We had a demo last week of another one again, and so yeah, we're just looking at what's going to work best for our clients and testing things out before we pick one. So.
Excellent. We've looked at a few different tools, haven't we? This is the problem. Like nothing does everything you want it to do.
No.
It's like makes me feel like I just want too much.
Yeah.
It's a long pause.
Right. So if you so a social media scheduler, what's the one thing you couldn't do without, Molly?
The ability to tag people.
Okay. Jane?
Well, actually scheduling something. So access to all the platforms you actually want to schedule to, because they don't all have that.
What about you, Kim?
Analytics. Because when I'm doing the reviews and things, it really irritates me when I have to go here for one bit, like Jane says, access just one place, but for the analytics.
Mark, you're not that bothered, are you?
It's not something that's sort of, yeah, I have to leave that to you guys these days. It's like the other week when we took it.
But this is the thing. What I'd love is like a system where it's got a really good integration with something like Canva, but not just the integration thing, but actually like you almost like you could set rules within it. So that from
It's funny you mention Canva, because I actually noticed a little new tag on a schedule option. I haven't actually explored it yet, but whether that is going to link to social media accounts, there may be some integration there. But
because you could always
I don't
post
know whether
from
that
it,
would
couldn't
do
you?
more. I think so. Yeah, but you
Yeah,
couldn't
but just not
schedule it.
schedule. Yeah.
Why don't you make it, Christina?
Do you know what? If I had the money, I bloody would. Why don't I do ChatGPT?
I don't know why I said that, because I knew it would be me that would be doing all the.
Yeah. I mean, another project for us to look at. I feel very sweary today. That's like the 10th time already I've had to stop myself swearing. So yeah, Charlie said, yeah, monthly review, story scheduling. Do you know what? There's only a couple of platforms that do it. Like when you're scheduling Instagram content, being able to actually see what your grid is going to look like. But then I have lots of issues with the Instagram grid. I'd wish you could like just move things around and
Just pick
like,
them up and move them. Yeah.
Yeah. I would love that.
They talked about bringing that out once, and then they never.
Yeah,
have.
I vaguely remember.
Because I remember talking about it on here.
Yeah, so that's never happened. I mean, we've got the pins thing, but that can be a bit hit and miss because strategically it can work quite nicely, but it's like people will then pin things and they forget it's pinned. Or they go, because they think it's pinned, they don't actually post about it again, because it's not like it's pinned, it's going to keep going out in the feed. It's pinned just means it's there if someone looks at your profile. So it's kind of, it works, but it doesn't work. So yeah, it's a funny one. Cool. Okay, right. Social media news. Who wants to go first?
Okay, I'll go first. I'll go first. So there is a new app launching, and it's called Ghost. Okay, and the idea is it's a messaging app, but you can do it anonymously. So you can message people anonymously. And I shall read you a quote from the article. That says it's a ghost messaging app that allows users to share an anonymous message in a group chat with friends in order to flirt, joke, or ask questions without revealing their identity. And the app also includes the ability to ask ChatGPT a question directly within the group. But they're going to put loads of guidelines and stuff around it, because obviously there's the element, there's the opportunity there for people to go on it and just bully people, harass people. So it's going to be a lot. I think it's been tried before and it failed because of those issues. So they're going to. I don't really see the point though. If you want to say something.
Well, in Facebook groups, you can, if you're an admin on a Facebook group, you can adjust the settings so that people can post anonymously. So if it's the right group for the right reason,
yeah, I suppose if it was,
that could be a thing. So I as a group member, I have used that before now to sort of share some sensitive information.
Do you remember though Ask FM? That was a thing when I was at school, and that was like anonymous questions and answers. And I remember that was banned because it was so horrific. People were putting, well, it wasn't monitored, obviously, but people were putting things in there anonymously, and it was awful. And there was loads of things at school about like in assemblies being like, do not use this, do not engage in it, because people were just being like horrific on it.
Yeah.
It's just whether this would be the same.
I can imagine, like school users, it could be really dangerous. Like you could literally post anything about anyone. And it's just, it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, if I'm honest.
Not good.
But, no.
Do you know what? I wish we could have this live on Instagram at the same time. But the only way of doing it is to literally set up a camera
To
on
watch the screen.
and then the sound would be terrible, wouldn't it? I'm distracted now. Sorry. This is my.
I was going to say, you completely zoned out of the conversation then, didn't you? And just
No, I didn't zone out. I didn't zone out. I just was thinking about two things at once. I was totally focused on both of those things. Yeah, I don't see why people use it. Why people would use it. Oh, Charles says OBS. I don't think OBS does stream to Insta though. I don't think you can get the stream key to do it. We'll see technical talk now. Anyway, we'll have a chat. Now people know what I'm responding to. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, I don't see why people. I don't know why people use it when they can do that in Facebook groups, other than kids, and yeah, it will go that the same as Ask FM. That was fire. Mark, what you got? Any news for us?
Yeah, a couple of bits. I think one that sort of struck me was I saw it on the BBC website, and I know we had it on our coaching club email this week, but it doesn't seem to have been that widely spread about Meta creating a basically Twitter type app. So P92, which I love the name of. I'm sure it won't be called that if it comes out. But I think it's really interesting that, you know, they're obviously seeing a big opportunity in the fact that Twitter is still in massive chaos and trying to create something to almost take that place. So from the articles I've seen, it's going to be similar. Well, I haven't used Mastodon, but it's similar to Mastodon in the way it works on decentralized servers and things like this. So it's a totally different model to even any of their sort of current networks. So it'll be interesting to see if anything does actually happen with that. And I'm sure, to be fair, if they can do it, I would imagine it's going to be bloody popular.
I'm not sure, because Mastodon's not really picked up.
I've never heard of it.
It started getting a bit more, didn't it? Because there was an article linked to it. It's been around for what, 7 years now?
Yeah. So Mastodon is like a Twitter. When Elon bought Twitter, there was a big move of people going over to Mastodon. But then things I've seen the last sort of 3-4 months, it's like it was like in that moment they did, and then it's just massively declined.
I just think if Meta are behind it, and if they do something, they're going to put a big push on it, and it'll either make Twitter do something to actually sort themselves out, or this could be a viable alternative.
The thing is, Meta do work on a lot of projects that then just never go anywhere.
Yeah,
so,
true.
So for example, the NFTs, I think, is it this? When did I read? They've shut down their NFT project now. I can't remember when I saw that.
I think
like last day or two.
Yeah, recently.
Yeah. So there's there was a local thing that they did a few years ago that was like a directory thing that never went anywhere. Obviously the coin thing that they were going to do, that's never really. They've got the stars. So Facebook have this stars feature thing where you can buy stars and then give the stars to people that you follow to reward them for the content. But that's not a mainstream thing either.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of stuff that they do, and like we know about the stuff that works really well, but I think there's a lot of stuff that they've done and dumped basically because it just hasn't gone anywhere.
I don't know. I just think if they can get it right with and I suppose they have seen the opportunity with Twitter, you know, sort of in basically disarray, and it's I don't know. Be interesting to see. I'd be more inclined to go over to that than, you know, basically my one in every 3-4 months look at Twitter now.
Yeah, I have to admit, I really don't engage in it very much now. Twitter, it's like every time I go on it, I'm just like, there's nothing. I don't feel like there's anything there for me anymore. And yet it used to be like that's where I was getting all my news. I did have a little bit of a look yesterday because of the budget, but like that's how I use it now. It's a place to see what conversation is on things like that. But then I'm like a few scrolls and I'm like, yeah, I'm bored now. But that's probably says something about my attention span anyway. Like, different issues at play. Cool. Okay, who's going to go next? Jane, Molly, who's going to jump in first?
Well, I've got a Twitter one to carry on from this conversation.
Yeah.
So Twitter are working on a new option to show you why you're seeing each tweet in your feed. So there's been a lot of frustration and complaints about the randomness of the For You feed. So they're experimenting this new option to explain why you're seeing this post in your feed. And it should give you a brief overview of your mutual follows and your activity based on the in-app actions that you are doing. So yeah, I think it's just a fallback personally. But
Again, if I saw something that was really irritating, I thought, why the hell am I looking? Why the hell am I seeing that? Then I would look, because I do that sometimes with Facebook ads. I'll get a Facebook ad. I'm like, what? Like what? And so I would, but that's because of what I do. I want to see what it's telling me, like why I've been targeted. Do you know what? I'm going to have to move myself into the middle, right? Because there you go. Because I want to move this down, right? But then I need my board at the back. Is like, because if the board's cut off, it looks like I was on a call earlier and it was like that.
Oh,
I can't even. Oh,
what?
yeah.
Just look at the letters. Yeah.
So I've got to get my positioning right.
Yeah,
I don't want to be in the wrong position. And you know what I like about how you've got to place yourself properly on the screen to make sure yeah, I'm happy now. Sorry.
And distracted again, just like that.
I shouldn't be. I've had my mushrooms and I had an extra scoop.
Wow.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so like I said, I do look to see Facebook ads. I will look to see why I've been served that ad.
So where do you find that bit of information?
So the 3 dots. Sorry. Go on.
Yeah, perfect. Now this is what I love. Like you guys should be answering the questions.
Go for Molly. Where can I find that information?
So on the post, there's the 3 dots. If you click on it, there's a little question mark and it will say, why am I seeing this in my feed?
And you can do that for personal and so anybody.
So I was thinking about this and I feel like if something was really random, I'd just close the tab, go to something else. If I had the time to be scrolling through social media and they were showing me something really random, I'd just move on to the next.
Yeah, I kind of go, why? Carry on.
But I think sometimes when you're seeing the same ad again and again and again, and like I said, because Jane and I have conversations around Facebook ads, targeting options, that kind of thing, I'm then interested to see, okay, what's been put, what is it that's allowed me to be caught up in that? So it might say you recently visited a website or you follow pages about this, this, and this. If you're seeing the ad because someone's uploaded your data, you can't necessarily see. So let's say, so let's say we uploaded some data, so like an email list to Meta, and so we want to run an ad, and Kim's email is in that data, and it's the first time it's been uploaded. Kim would see that we shared her data with Meta. But if the ad she was actually seeing was Mark's ad, like Wordsworth, Mark's band are running some ads, and Kim's been caught up in that data, although it's Mark's ad that's been seen, Kim would be told, you've been targeted because you're on an email list and Green Umbrella were the first people to share your email with us. You all look like I've lost you.
Yeah. I'm confused.
See, this is what I'm saying. It's like no one needs to know this stuff, and yet I'm like Jane's nodding, yeah, because this is why fun for me. I
absolutely get why you guys would be interested.
Well, honestly, scrolling through, I'm just like, here's an ad. Love an ad.
I'm totally going to be looking at this now. Everyone I get, why am I seeing this? Why am I seeing this?
Literally open Facebook to have a look, see if I can find an ad.
Yeah.
You won't see one now. You want one.
No.
No.
Plenty of them. Plenty of them. Cool. Okay, Jane, what you got?
Few little ones really. So Meta are finally getting rid of their audio channels. So after they launched all that audio stuff when Clubhouse came out and all the rest of it, they're finally getting rid of it. So from this week, you'll no
See,
longer
Mark,
add any
see,
new.
proof. This is what I was saying.
Anyway, you won't be able to add any new ones this week, but then they'll get rid of all the old ones as well. And then next, Twitter are doing a little thing so you can opt out of certain types of advert. So at the minute, they're focusing on gambling. So obviously, if you had a gambling addiction or something, you can opt out of gambling adverts. But once they've trialed that a bit, they'll put other things in there, presumably alcohol, perhaps, or other things that are perhaps things that people really, really don't want to see in their feed. So I think that's quite a good one, actually, I have to say.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. A friend of mine's just celebrated. He's ex-gambling addict. We're going to get him on at some point. He's just celebrated 1,000 days.
I saw that.
I saw that.
Like,
Yeah.
such a special story.
I love him. Can he just come and move into the office? I feel like every time whenever you're having a bad day, you just turn around, there's his little face. You just know.
How many? 31 minutes in, I'll tell him we've been talking about him. Yeah. You'll have to fast forward and see what we've said. Yeah, we will get him on as a guest. I'm being very careful to not say the name right now. So yeah, we will do that. Okay, cool. Mark, have you got any AI related stuff for us?
Yeah, a couple of bits. Obviously, ChatGPT has got version 4 been launched this week. So I haven't had a chance to try it yet. I think obviously we were talking about some bits before we started. Basically, one of the things you can do with it now is put a visual input into it to generate the AI bits. So you can put an image in and then it will generate whatever you want it to do for that. And the best thing I've seen so far, and I think a few of us had seen it, was a guy who did like a little tiny sketch, my joke website, a few other bits of text, stuck it in it, and it created all the code, all the CSS, HTML and Java, I think it was, and basically designed this website, which is a bit crazy. It wasn't obviously a nicely designed website, but the fact that you could put that in there and it could actually do something meaningful was pretty impressive.
Mark got quite excited by this news. It was almost like, whoa! And we were like, what?
Yeah.
And then told the story. It was like breaking news.
Yeah. So yeah, that is quite,
It's
obviously that's magic.
It's crazy.
Talk about breaking news. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, no, obviously, like we said, none of us have had a chance to actually play with it yet, though, and see.
You could
exactly
put your drawings in it, Christina.
Yeah.
I've said it so many times, we should literally create digital copies. And I mean, I don't think anyone would actually buy them, but it would be quite funny to just have them for sale somewhere.
It'd be great to do all of that work, not to sell it. Yeah, it'd be great.
We could have a collector's edition poster set.
Yeah, I said to Kim earlier about my little things on my board. I said I could have them as like, I should just like keep doing them, but then we'll have them made up as like we'll just use Vistaprint and get magnetic signs.
Sorry, you seem to have broken up there, so we'll skip over that bit.
Yeah, definitely.
No, I'm serious.
I think I would have prepared it if you would have sworn rather than use that word.
Yeah. Silence now. That is just like.
Just think about what you've done. We're not angry. We're just disappointed.
Yeah.
Do you think we could do some of my little things as like little posters?
No.
Just for me, because then I don't have to draw it up each time. I can just swap them depending on how I feel.
We'll just buy you some of that sticky whiteboard stuff.
Yeah, but then I'd have to still keep drawing it every time.
No, you wouldn't. Just keep the whiteboards and just stick it back.
Yeah, wouldn't they rub off?
I don't know. We'll worry about the mechanics.
I was going to say.
Another point. Yeah, probably not a discussion for the live lunch, to be honest.
What is going on today, please?
Right. But Paul,
Yeah.
actually, the
Too
opposite
much.
is the problem. All I've done is been out recently. Dear.
Oh, how was your weekend?
My weekend.
Your weekend. What did
Paul's
you do the weekend? Not my
So-
weekend, yours. Mine was great. I was working.
So was I.
Yeah, okay.
My weekend was amazing, absolutely amazing. So it was obviously I had my little announcement about my involvement with a company called Success Psychology. I'm playing with my fidget cube. Success Psychology, and what we're doing there in emotional change therapy. And we had the breakthrough experience, which is a one-day event. We ran it on Saturday, and as a team, the four of us as a team coming together, putting this event on, getting it all sorted, who's speaking when, all that kind of stuff. It was just like it was our 100th event. It was like the place looked really cool. The thing is, we understand brand, right? So obviously I'm bringing that to the table. So when you then look at the room, and it just felt really, really good, really solid. And then because of the level of speakers we are, the level of knowledge that people have in the team, and just the reason people come to an event like that, what they want, just like the whole, when you go into an event and it's like, I mean, I don't do sports events, right? But I imagine, Mark, when you go to what's the ground called where Saints is?
Franklin Gardens.
Franklin's
I know that.
Franklin's Gardens.
Franklin's Gardens.
Or if we want to give it the full title, Cinch Stadium at Franklin's Gardens, because it's sponsored by Cinch.
All right,
Cinched it.
but
Yeah, she's gone. She's gone again, Mark.
But the thing is, when you go in there, it's like match day, and like everyone's there for that reason. You've got that, the vibe is there, yeah. And so it was just that, and so everything from Bella came along and helped. She did registration. So like from people arriving at registration, I opened the event, I opened the event, and we started and stuff, and just like the whole day was just amazing. And then we had day 2, which is people that have been through the course, if they want to sort of really master the skills that are taught, we have an academy for them. So it's the first of the academy days, and that it was really special, really, really special. I want to share this here. So obviously, like you've all seen me speak, and lots of people that watch this have seen me speak. And normally when you speak, you introduce yourself, you tell your story. And obviously my story is about, being here and, freelancer, employee, buying the business. But that's a really tiny part of my story. And the probably the more impactful story that I have is probably not relevant doesn't feel relevant to share in a lot of the places where I speak.
Mm-hmm.
And in this place, it was massively relevant, massively relevant, because I talk about stuff that happened in my older life. I was going to say then.
Wow.
Yeah, now I have gone.
You have got a whole new life.
But stuff that's happened in my younger life, in my early 20s. How that, like from a mindset perspective, what that's done to me, for me, and where I am now. And it's the first time I've told my story that way, which I was very uncomfortable doing, because it was,
Vulnerable.
it's personal, it's vulnerable. And I was shown a video. Like Monday morning, I saw the video of when I finish.
It was like a standing ovation.
Yeah, I mean, there was an applause, and I know it sounds ridiculous, but just.
But it was a long applause, wasn't it?
The amount of love I got back from the people in the audience, it was just when you feel really connected, it was very much like that. And it sounds weird, but I didn't realise that people were standing. And then when I was showing the video on Monday, I was like, oh my God. But actually, you can hear the applause.
It's not just
Yeah, yeah. On the Sunday, it was a much smaller audience. You know, it wasn't. You know, I've been on a stage and told my story with 500 people in the audience. This is like 20 people, so completely different. But like I said, I mean, I finally went, actually, yeah, I am going to post it on Facebook at about 2:30 this morning. Because it's been playing, like, I don't know, it's been playing on my mind. I was like, actually do it, because it's been very personal. It's sort of been something sometimes things happen and it plays on your mind, right? You're processing it. And I guess I've really been processing it the last few days, or since Sunday, just being able to tell that story, how I felt whilst I was telling it, afterwards. People have sent me some messages, you know, over the last few days as well, that were in the room, and it's very different. It's very different.
Well, we can't wait to come for a breakthrough day, can we? We've been discussing it in the office. I think we're going to give it a go. See what it is. If you'll have us.
I really want you all to
There's a lot of work to be done here.
I'm like, I'm like, you should all be doing it. I can't make it mandatory, but you should all be doing it, 100%. I mean, like I said, if I made it mandatory, I think Mark would just pass me a white envelope. But
not full of cash.
Oh, you know, I mean, if you fill it with cash, but you know, it's not everyone's thing, and this is what I'm saying. People that go into that room, they're there for a reason. They're bringing that.
Yeah.
But it was a spectacular weekend. But also, if I flip it, when you run events, like if you're trying to put an event together, you're trying to get people in a room, and it's open to the public, and you're going from a standing start. It's really difficult to get an audience in a room. It's really difficult to get the registrations. It's really difficult to get people to show up on the day, and we absolutely smashed it. And we smashed it purely through organic marketing, purely through organic social media. You know, there was no email list. Yeah, once we got people registered, we put things in place. So nurture sequences, essentially, but a nurture sequence that didn't just rely on email. You know, there were phone calls, there was WhatsApp included in that as well. So it is everything I teach, everything that we share with our clients. If I just look at that event from a marketing perspective, the social media plan for like the 4-6 weeks. Yeah, it was, to be honest, we should have had 6 weeks. It was 4 weeks. So the social media plan we put in place there that was delivered upon. And I'd say probably, you know, I tell people what to do. They don't always do what I freaking tell them. So there's probably only about 70% of that social media plan that did happen the way it was supposed to. And I'm probably being a little bit generous there. Okay, I think it's less than that, but I've already been nagging about other things. I can't moan too much. So the organic social media plan was there and followed. We got the registrations. We kept it simple. We didn't like waste loads of time doing landing page here, landing page there. We went right, Eventbrite, because we know it's going to get indexed well there. So we used that. And then, like I said, you know, okay, now we've got people registered, emails, WhatsApp, what's the timing of all this thing? You know, of the people registered, like my backgrounds events, generally, if you thought you got 100 people come into the room, you'd expect like 20, you know, on the day, all the people that confirm, you'd probably expect 70, 80 to confirm. Then on the day, you'd expect another 10% to drop out. You know, so you kind of always, this is why, like, you'll arrive at a hotel sometimes and they're like, sorry, we haven't got any rooms left. They overbook because it's like the doctor's surgery, right? People just don't turn up for their appointments and they don't freaking tell anyone. But from a commercial perspective, you need to maintain that level of profitability. So like a hotel, if the hotel's got 150 rooms, they'll probably book 180. And they just deal with it if everyone turns up, because the reality is that only happens maybe once, twice a year, if that. So when you think about events, the marketing an event, there's all this stuff to think about. And we did it all with no budget and no time. And we had a really good show. Like literally, there's like, I think there were only 2 people that didn't show on the day. It's crazy. But it just goes to show what we're teaching. When I talk about awareness and interest and desire and action, when I talk about nurturing, when I talk about, how your social media content should take people to the next logical step, and we walk them through that process you want them to follow. It's exactly what we did. And we had an amazing weekend. I mean, it's all about the marketing, right? I mean, the content was, just whatever. I won't tell them to listen in at 45 minutes. 18. But no, like I said, it was the marketing element, I think, just positioned it really well. It got people there. We then delivered on what we promised, which is always really important. But now it's the post-event marketing that needs to happen as well. So people still feel like, okay, the event's finished, but we still care, because that's going to encourage them to come back for the next one. And yes, absolutely. The breakthrough experience, you guys should all be coming. 20th
When's
of
the
May.
next one? Oh, there we go. She's straight on it.
20th of May. I wish I had the link handy. There you go. So yeah, that's that.
Are we going to go, Jane?
Yeah.
You know what? There was a Jen delivered a piece on it to do with anxiety. That was really like so many people, like just how to deal with anxiety. And it's like she got someone from the audience who suffers with anxiety, and she went through this exercise with them, and like everyone, like Jen's had so many people reach out to her saying, like, can I buy you a drink? Can you talk me through what you did with that woman? Because they were like, I want to do it with my kids. I want to do it with my sister. I want to do it with my employee, because it was such a simple technique. And you can see this woman on stage just completely, as they went through the exercise, just actually everything shift. And it is like, it's not like, like when you watch a magic trick and all of a sudden like, wham, it's gone. You could actually see this thing developing and changing. It's really, really interesting.
I'd love to. I'd genuinely give it a go. I would.
20th of May, babes. 20th of May. Candice says she's coming.
Who's coming?
Candice.
There we go, Candice. All right, now I've got someone to go with. Yeah, maybe I do need Jen. Maybe I do need Jen.
Cool. Okay, so anyone got anything else?
I have a little bit of breaking news, not to scare anyone.
You got breaking news. You waited 47 minutes to.
I know. Well, I wanted to end on it. So this morning, TikTok has been banned from UK government devices. So it has officially been announced by the government, but the Cabinet Office Minister will confirm this later today.
I really didn't think they'd do it.
So,
me neither.
If you're a government employee, you cannot have TikTok on your phone.
So, Chris,
not on your
government
on your work phone.
On a government phone. Oh, it's really looking forward to seeing Rishi doing a TikTok.
Chris Harris is our local MP, right? Is he still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Well, your MP. Yeah.
Right. So, on his personal phone, he can have it.
Yeah.
But on his
government phone,
he can't.
Government phone, why would you have it?
But if it's
should it work? Should it work?
Well, yeah, but Boris
you're giving it that.
Wasn't Boris Johnson on TikTok?
He's on everything. He was suspended on a bloody bring back Boris just for that.
Rishi's on TikTok. He has been for a while. Yeah.
But if it's on a personal account on their personal phone, they can still do that, can't they? It's just if it's on the work phone.
Here's my thing. If we're so worried about it, well,
it should be
devices are going to attach to the same Wi-Fi connection, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the thing I don't understand.
I suppose it's the argument.
Sorry, go on. No, you go. It's fine.
No, I was going to say, because I suppose it's the other stuff that's on that phone though. So if they've got government emails, etc., there's more of a chance of those being hacked through a back door rather than the Wi-Fi and things like that. It's to do with that. That would be the reason.
Yeah, but
back end again.
I feel like there's going to be a crossover though.
We need Chris Lambert on here because I don't understand this stuff, right? Or Francis West. okay, because they're both cybersecurity, like they both get cybersecurity stuff. My device connects to the Wi-Fi, and because I'm using TikTok, whoever's listening to me wants to get into my device, they can then hop through the Wi-Fi connection into my other phone to look at that device.
Don't know. One for the.
That's how I understand it, because that's why, like, viruses, you could get a virus on like one computer and then it be on your other thing.
But I think there's also some arguments about what data that TikTok gives to potentially the Chinese government as well, isn't there, or something? Because partly because TikTok is partly Chinese owned, there's some kind of thing where any data that's collected within the app can then be given to the Chinese government. So even if that's just, if it's just usage data or GPS data and stuff like that, not even anything particularly sensitive, but essentially they might be able to track the movements. Of
But again, it's like you still got both phones in your handbag. Not that I'm suggesting that Chris Heaton carries a handbag.
Yeah.
TikTok have partnered with someone called Dentsu on a new performance tracking solution where they're going to do an alternative tracking method through web tracking. So is that another
company or something?
Yes, yeah. So yeah, they're going to track the user's data via API and web tracking. So is that another? I don't understand.
Can I just say, I'm sorry to interrupt, Molly, but
she's gone again. Look,
something's just appeared in the comments, right? Obviously, Charles knows me really well, so he's now explained this in a way that I can understand.
It's like putting a kiddie. Oh, I read that completely different. I'm really sorry. My Molly.
He's like, you can block devices. It's like putting a kiddie filter on the network. I'm like, okay, I understand now.
Right, kiddie filter.
Well, I understand what to do to stop it now. You have to.
My heart sank for a moment then.
Very simple. Awesome. All right. Interesting.
I think we should just clip this episode to all the moments where you've had a bit of a Dory moment. I'm going to call it.
I think this is what I don't understand. When I have my focus stuff, it's like it works really, really well, but I have about 30 minutes of not being very focused at all. You know, when they say things will get worse before they get better, it's a bit like that.
Wow. I mean, if you could have seen Molly the other day after a night old before, an out-of-date Barocca and a mocha and Barocca.
Did you have a Barocca in your mocha?
No, they were separate.
They were separate, yeah.
But
she was
Darcy followed
just
one
mental.
after the other.
She had a Barocca with a mocha chaser.
On Monday, so this event was a Saturday, Sunday, and then I had a meeting first thing Monday, and then lunch with someone else, and then I drove back, and I had to go to Peterborough, and I was like knackered. By the time I got to Peterborough, I was knackered. I was like, right, I'm not going to go into this thing I was supposed to be doing because I didn't get there till 4:00. It's due to finish at like 5:30, so I'd look like arriving at that point. So I sent a few messages to the gang, just saying, right, I'm going to be like, I'll be in the pub. We'll have a drink afterwards. And because I've got dinner with someone as well. And they all came into the pub at different times. And everyone just looked at me and they were like, what's going on? And I thought it's because I looked so tired because I was really can't keep my eyes open. And that wasn't their problem. Their problem was that I was sat there with a black coffee and a lime and soda. And it was like they just couldn't compute it. Like, I'm in a pub and there's no alcohol. They were like, what is going on?
Now that's the breaking news, Molly.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go. Right. Okay. That's it. I think we're done, right? We're all good?
Yeah.
Should we wrap it up there?
Yeah.
Ring says it's been interesting. Sometimes I go
interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Different.
It's one of my words. Interesting. Okay. Bye everyone. Thanks for joining us. We will see you next Thursday at 12 noon on my LinkedIn, YouTube, and the Green Umbrella Facebook page, and who knows where else. I'm sure we'll be around. That was the other thing I was going to share, and I forgot. Doesn't matter.
Story.
It'll be a secret.
This is awkward.
I'll save it for next time.
Okay, bye everyone.
Bye.
Bye, Jen.